Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Seraphim Space Investment Trust's third Capital Markets Day. I'm sorry that the potential of a tube strike has led to this event being virtual rather than in person. However, I hope that will result in an increased number of participants who can join today from their desks. So let's start with the big news, the change of the administration in the US. It's clear that President Trump is planning to have a big impact, starting with hiring Elon Musk in a new role to lead Government Efficiency Department. With the Republican control of the Senate, this is undoubtedly going to have a big impact on both the space sector and the defence-related markets. Whilst it's too early to evaluate, we believe Trump is likely to be net positive for the space domain and the defence-related markets. We'll discuss the impact on geopolitics and how this will affect the defence market later in the session during a panel with two of our portfolio companies that are focused on defence, ICEYE and Allspace. So looking back, the world has faced unprecedented challenges in the last couple of years, marked by global inflation, rising interest rates, geopolitical tensions and conflicts. These headwinds have created a complex landscape for business across the globe, and we at Seraphim have not been immune to these pressures. As you know, Seraphim, along with other peers within the investment trust, are sitting on historically high discounts at the moment. Yet, despite these external challenges, our dedicated Seraphim team has remained steadfast in our messaging and strategic execution. We've consistently pursued our vision whilst adapting to the realities of this volatile environment. Our approach has involved prudent cash management and hands-on commitment to actively supporting our portfolio. I'm proud to report over the past year, our portfolio's net asset value has increased by 7.5%. And whilst this figure is testament to our resilience, the real story lies in the key performance metrics emerging from our portfolio. We're witnessing robust revenue growth, 71% on average, an increasing number of companies approaching EBITDA positive, with 5 of the top 10 companies, and nearly $1 billion in equity invested into our portfolio during the course of the last year. We've added just one portfolio company, Skylo, to the portfolio, whose founder, Parth, is here today, and I'll introduce him shortly so he can personally talk to you about his company and progress during the year. But before I do so, I wanted to show a few more slides to help you better understand the space market during the last year. Next slide, please. So space continues to captivate headlines with monthly milestones that showcase record-breaking milestones and achievements, world firsts, and the rapid maturation of the commercial space sector. Recent highlights have included the Indian Space Agency making history by successfully landing a low-cost exploration vehicle on the moon. This remarkable achievement was soon followed by Japan, and then more recently by the United States in February 24. Notably, the latter marked a significant milestone as Intuitive Machines became the world's first commercial operator to achieve a lunar landing. In September 23, Eutelsat completed a merger with OneWeb, forming a formidable European powerhouse posed to compete with SpaceX's Starlink. This merger underscores the growing ambition within the commercial satellite market, and particularly through IRIS² in Europe, how they're going to face the dominance of the US. October 23 saw the FCC issuing its first ever fine for space debris, a pivotal moment highlighting the urgent need for regulatory measures to safeguard the space environment and to ensure the stability of commercial operations. In March 2024, after 2 previous attempts, SpaceX successfully launched its new Starship rocket. This achievement promises to usher a new era of cost-effective launch, a development many of you will have witnessed more recently as the booster was recovered for reuse using a giant pair of chopsticks. There are still challenges ahead though, and whilst there's much to celebrate, the journey is not without its hurdles. In June 24, Boeing faced significant challenges when its Starliner spacecraft left astronauts stranded on the International Space Station. This incident adds to the ongoing difficulties surrounding the Boeing company, but serves as a reminder of the complexities involved with space operations. Next slide, please. Now, this chart is drawn from the Seraphim Space Index as at the 30th of September 2024, highlighting the trajectory of the global space investment market, which is represented by the green line, in comparison with the global venture capital market investment depicted by the dotted orange line. And this is indexed back to Q1 2018. As you can see, investment in space tech has demonstrated robust recovery starting in Q1 2023, with momentum building in each subsequent quarter. We're now nearing the highs of 2021, in contrast to the global VC investment, which has continued to decline. When examining the number of companies funded, this trend for the space sector, shown by the blue line, reveals consistent growth, whereas the global VC funding has experienced persistent decline since Q1 2022. So what distinguishes the space market from the more subdued performance of other tech-driven sectors? Well, the answer lies in the favourable trends impacting the industry, particularly defence and climate, two critical drivers for our sector. Defence budgets are increasingly being directed towards commercial space. New satellite constellations are providing innovative solutions for connectivity and intelligence gathering, and this is underscoring the strategic importance of space technology. Additionally, the pace of advancements in space technology is unprecedented. The SpaceX Starship, which I just mentioned, is designed to carry 100 tons or up to 100 crew members into orbit, representing a significant leap forward and signalling a dawn of a new era in space commercialization. As a result, investors are being drawn to this sector, anticipating these developments will unlock exciting growth opportunities within the commercial space landscape. So this chart is derived again from the Seraphim Space Index, and it illustrates the number of companies funded in the year period up to the 30th of September. And it's categorized across each different stage of investment, the Series Seed through to the later rounds of D Series and beyond. Notably, the chart indicates significant growth over the past 12 months. The number of companies funded at each stage, in particular the B Series, where companies have surged by 100%, while both C and D Series companies are experiencing robust recovery. This really mirrors the SSIT portfolio trends, with $900 million invested into the portfolio in the year to the 30th of June. So this slide shows maps derived from the data collected by portfolio company ICEYE, showing the impact of the recent Dana storm that significantly affected southeastern Spain, particularly Valencia, unleashing severe rainfall and unprecedented levels of flash flooding. ICEYE has been closely monitoring the storm's impacts since its formation, successfully acquiring over 20 synthetic aperture radar images over the affected areas, even through thick storm clouds and during night time. ICEYE's initial analysis of the flood extent and the depth indicates that the storm has impacted over 1,000 buildings in the region. Typically, flooding events coincide with periods of heavy rain, which can obstruct optical remote sensing satellites from capturing useful imagery. This is where the synthetic aperture radar, SAR, offers a vital alternative. SAR satellites have the capability to see through clouds and effectively detect surface water, making them indispensable for monitoring flood events as they unfold. The frequency of the flooding events is expected to increase due to climate change, and the geospatial data that will become essential tools for understanding, monitoring, and mitigating the effects of these disasters. The recent floods in Valencia illustrate how ICEYE's data can provide comprehensive insights and in-depth analysis. These products help connect key sectors with the information they require quickly and efficiently, ultimately aiding life-saving efforts, supporting recovery and the cleanup operations, and providing accurate data for insurance companies.